It's Wednesday already, and we are going to pick up with Jonah chapter 2 right away. Remember where we are so far in the book of Jonah. Jonah was called by the Lord to go to Nineveh. He did not go there. Instead, he went the opposite direction on a ship. And because of that, the Lord sent a storm upon them. So to get Jonah to repent, the men ended up throwing him overboard so that the sea would stop at Jonah's request. A whale, a great fish, swallowed Jonah, and that's where we ended, beginning with chapter 2, verse 1. Then Jonah prayed to the Lord his God from the belly of the fish, saying, I called out to the Lord out of my distress, and he answered me. Out of the belly of Sheol I cried, and you heard my voice. What a way to start this psalm. Great parallelism. I called out to the Lord out of my distress. Out of the belly of Sheol, I cried. Now, Sheol is also known as the pit. It is, in a way, symbolic of death, or we might see it a little bit as hell, but it's different than that. The pit, the low spot, not being able to go any lower is a good way to describe it. From the belly of the fish, out of the belly of Sheol, out of destruction in the pit, he cried out. Not when he was swallowed, but before, when he was in the belly of the sea, sinking deeper. Continue with verse 3. For you cast me into the deep, into the heart of the sea, and the floods surrounded me. All your waves and your billows passed over me. Then I said, I am driven away from your sight. Yet I shall again look upon your holy temple. This shows faith of Jonah, doesn't it? That God would continue to save him. He realizes that it was God that had led him, that had caused him to be thrown into the deep. He says, for you cast me into the deep. All your waves, they passed over me. Then I said, I am driven away by your sight. He realized that it was the Lord doing all of this. And yet he knows now that he will look upon the temple of the Lord once again. Verse 5, the waters closed in over me to take my life. The deep surrounded me. Weeds were wrapped around my head at the root of the mountains. I went down to the land whose bars closed upon me forever. He was sinking down into the water, to the very bottom of the sea. The waters closed in. He knew that he was helpless. Yet, he says, you brought up my life from the pit, O Lord my God. In many ways, this is the turning point. Seeing how he recognized that God delivered him from drowning, delivered him from destruction, brought his life up from the pit, up from Sheol, to give him life. And he realizes that just as it was the Lord who led him into the deep, it was the Lord who was rescuing him from that as well. Verse 7 and 8. When my life was fading away, I remembered the Lord, and my prayer came to you into your holy temple. Those who pay regard to vain idols forsake their hope of steadfast love. As he was fading away, the Lord came to him. The prayer went to the Lord in his temple. Those who worship idols, they cannot answer. And they forsake their hope of the steadfast love, of the love of God to deliver them in the midst of their struggles. Verse 9. But I, with the voice of thanksgiving, will sacrifice to you. What I have vowed, I will pay. Salvation belongs to the Lord. And the Lord spoke to the fish, and it vomited Jonah out upon the dry land. The Lord is at work. Again, that the parallelism showing the response to this saving work of God. With the voice of thanksgiving, sacrifice to you what I have vowed I will pay. Those things showing that sacrifice in response to that saving work of God. The summary: salvation belongs to the Lord. The Lord was at work saving Jonah, and he's at work saving each of us through Christ. That final verse, verse 10. And the Lord spoke to the fish. Again, the Lord is in control. And the fish vomited Jonah out upon dry land. I love how it shares that, how it talks about how it vomited him, threw him up, probably fish, seaweed, and all the smelling disgustingness of being in that fish for 3 days. But yet Jonah knew that the Lord had saved him. God bless. And we'll see you again tomorrow as we hear the sermon that Jonah then preaches to the people of Nineveh. God bless.